Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Do It in Durham Week. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Ashley, and I work at the Business Advisory Center, Durham. And today we are celebrating Global Entrepreneurship Week, actually this whole entire week. And it's our 10th year doing Do It in Durham. So it's really to inspire people to start a business, grow a business, hire and create economic impact in Durham region. So if you are posting about the events on your social media channels, feel free to use the hashtags Do It in Durham 2022 or GEW Canada 2022. And I just want to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Without their help throughout this week, we wouldn't have been able to put this together. So I just want to take a moment of appreciation to shout out our lovely sponsors for the week. So today's topic is going to be all about social media. So I just am going to hand it over to Tim now. Feel free to drop any questions in the chat. I will be monitoring it throughout, and we will also be having an opportunity at the end to chat all questions about social media. So I'll stop sharing my screen and hand it over to you, Tim.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ashley. Friends, thank you so much for joining. I am forever grateful that anybody wants to talk about social media at 10:30 in the morning on a Monday. So thank you all so much for joining. Can anybody give me a thumbs up or put it in the chat or somewhere that you can see my screen and it looks like a slide? Perfect. Okay. For anybody here who's never been to a presentation with me, let me tell you, we are going to keep this super active. I'm not going to be talking at you the entire time. It's going to be quite interactive. So make sure you have your chat box open because we're certainly going to be using that. And a reminder, I would love to know what kind of businesses are in the room. So if you can put in the chat, what kind of business you have, what business are you representing? And if you want to drop a social media link, it's a great way for us to stay connected. Today, we're talking about keeping social media a party and a party that even introverts want to go to. So fun fact, fun story. I teach at the post-secondary level. I teach at Conestoga College and New York University. And I apologize to my students almost every class in the beginning of every course because like social media, my classes are very interactive and it's not great for the introverts. So I crafted this presentation saying, well, let's one, do this for the introverts, but two, let's also kind of have a new conversation about social media. Often we talk about posting, but I want to reframe the question and how we talk about social media. So let me start by asking this, and if you can put it in the chat, I'd love any theories. If you wanted to be the most popular person at a party, how would you do it? How would you become the most popular person at a party? Here we go.
Catherine says dress in red.
Dress in red. I agree with that. Ask lots of questions. Yep. Bring a keg. Ash, I would like to invite you to my next party. Make my way around the room. Yeah, so networking, so chatting to folks. Think about a party. If you went to a party and you wanted to be the most popular person, how would you do it? You'd circulate the room. Perfect. I usually am. Kelly, you're also invited to my party. I do wear awesome clothing. Never stop smiling. Talk to everyone. There it is. See, you wouldn't just like walk in, talk about yourself for 10 minutes, and then walk out. That's not how you become popular at a party, I don't think. And likewise, on social media, you wouldn't just walk in, post, and then leave. There's so much more you can do to grow your social media. And that's what we are tackling today. So for anybody who loves a good agenda like me, here's kind of what I want to cover. What is social media beyond posting? If we're not just posting and talking about posting, what else can social media do and what can it do for us? How can we use it as a research tool? And I've got a couple cool strategies for you. We're going to talk about engagement strategies. So a lot of you talk about like bringing a keg, getting to know people. We're going to talk about what that looks like online. We're going to talk about, okay, now I know I said we wouldn't be talking about posting. We do have to talk a little bit about posting, but in a new way, and that's share-worthy content. And then we're going to have just an open Q&A forum at the end. Like Ashley said, there will be time for questions throughout, but we're mainly going to be tackling questions at the end. So, for anybody who doesn't know me, my name is Tim. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a dog dad. I have two big Bouviers, and every time I share pictures of them, people ask, are those bears? Because they are gigantic. I'm a teacher. I teach at York University and Conestoga College. Fun fact, I'm at school today. I'm a tattoo enthusiast. You can't tell, and that's downside of online, but I am covered in tattoos. But right now, I'm cheating on tattoos with blood donations. And I'm an avid blood donor. So, some fun facts about me. Here's what I want you to hold me accountable to by the end of today and by the end of this session. I want you to know at least one other strategy for growth in sales that isn't posting. I want you to have a plan or a use for each of the functions of social media. And we're going to talk about that and what that really looks like and what that means. Um, and oh, Kelly, that's a cool fun fact. Thank you for sharing. And I want you after today to be drafting content ideas that people want to amplify for you, that people want to share for you. Okay. If we get to the end of this and I haven't covered this and you don't have these things, say, Tim, yikes, I was really hoping for, something. And we'll definitely make sure it gets covered. So here's the other question I want to ask, because I kind of want to benchmark the room and know where we're starting. When I just say social media, when I just say social media marketing, what comes to mind? Literally anything is fair game. Can y'all let me know when we say social media marketing, what comes to mind for you? Time suck. Okay. I agree, actually. Facebook and Instagram, immature teenager. What comes to mind when you think about social media? Challenges, time consuming, lead you astray, overwhelming content, people trying to sell. Okay. I think I'm starting to get a picture. Too much noise. Broadcasting message, overwhelming, audience, distraction. Yep. Writing uplifting content and connecting. Shelly, I like that. Knowledge, distraction. Okay. all good. All in or not at all? Oh, Christopher, what a great observation or great statement. All in or not at all? That's interesting. Humorous posts. Okay. So it sounds like social media is a lot. It's a lot of a lot. It's a lot of noise. It's a lot of sales. It's a lot of content. Okay. That helps. That helps give me a frame of reference for today. Thank you. Needing to post consistently. Well, Kathy, today we're going to talk about everything else that you could be doing that's not posting. Anybody here a fan of Encanto? Anybody seen the movie Encanto? Give me a thumbs up or let me know if you've seen Encanto. I love this movie. I'm a grown adult. I watched it with a group of grown adults and we loved it. And I saw it and I thought, all we talk about is posting content. And even think about everything we just saw in the chat. And a lot of us were talking about posting. And today we're going to reframe that. So let's start by talking about the three functional areas of social media. Oftentimes, when we talk about social media marketing, we talk about posting, right? But that's only one functional area, right? So posting includes scheduling and actually deploying your posts. It also, in my definition, includes ads, creating ads. But there are two other parts of social media that I want to draw your attention to. So the first is engagement. That includes things like commenting, like following, like sharing, direct messaging, and responding to DMs. Now, I put an asterisk here because I want to say this, my definition of engagement intentionally excludes likes. Liking posts does not count as engagement. Main reason being likes are so easy to garner, they're so easy to get. And think about the way your notifications show up on your phone. Well, there's a sea of likes and it's easy to not exactly see the accounts behind it. And there's a little bit of applied psychology behind why commenting and direct messaging works so well, because you're communicating with people, you're having that party in a way that they welcome, right? A bunch of people in the chat mentioned about like it's a lot of sales messaging. It's really annoying. It's like constantly in your face. Engagement kind of flips that script. And then the other thing you can be doing with your social media is research and planning. So that's actually gathering and like measuring your analytics. That's content planning. That's competitive analysis. It's campaign design. And even more than that, we can go beyond that. We can go to other functional areas like customer service. People don't realize like um, social media can be a customer service tool to respond to people. Actually, put it in the chat or give me like a thumbs up. Have any of you ever probably gone to Twitter or Instagram to contact a business, either because you had a question or you had a complaint? Has anybody done this? Gone to social media with a complaint or a question? Yep, Lillian has. Karen, often. Thank you, Karen. Yes, right? Kelly hasn't. That's interesting. But this is customer service. This isn't marketing. This isn't sales. It's not posting. It's using it for customer service, encouraging those direct messages and responding to them. So we can follow up on comments. We can respond to inquiries. Next, it can actually be used for sales, but sales doesn't always have to be posting. It can be creating and linking like landing pages. It can be doing new offers. It can be doing collaborations, hiring influencers and influencer marketing. It can also be research and development. So identifying your target audience, really, and actually finding out who they are, isolating those best performing posts, recreating what has worked in the past. It's not just about posting. So when you think about customer service, sales, research and development, um, ooh, engagement and research and planning, I want to kind of check in with you, with all of y'all. Is there a function that you could do more of? Does anyone feel like there's a function they could do more of? Could you be doing more sales, more research and engagement, or research and planning, more engagement? Could you be focusing on customer service? Is anybody thinking there's like a particular function that you're going to focus on? Engagement. And Kathy, engagement's my favorite. Actually, fun fact, just before this presentation, I was engaging with people on LinkedIn and Instagram quite intentionally. Yeah. Ashley, you could start with a post. Ash, though, I want to flip that script though for you and say that do you have to engage or do you have to post? What if you engage first? Actually, hold on. From a social media marketing perspective, it might actually help to do a post. So there's something for people to look at. But I would challenge you and say you could start with engagement. I could do more of everything. I've never used anything but Facebook. Welcome, Kelly, to the wonderful world of social media marketing. Just coming up with a plan and a strategy to decide what I need to do. Amy, I want to challenge you there as well. Lots of people love to think about plans and love to think about strategies. I argue that social media is something you have to do and you have to do actively. I would actually encourage you to start by doing. Start just engaging. Start with posting because it's a habit. We want to build behavior. We want to build that muscle. So, um, you know, I'm not totally saying dismiss the strategy, like don't not do a strategy, but like start with something. Um, but also stuck in research. Okay, that's fair. Perfect. Let's talk about using social media for research. Let's start there. Listening. Something a lot of people talked about, especially when it came to being popular at the party, is getting to know people. Heck, you know what? If we compare this to a party, using social media to research is like figuring out which party do I even want to go to? Do I want to go to this party? Do I want to go to that party? I don't know about you, but if I find out that I'm going to a party or there's a party where someone has like 2 pet dogs, I'm going to that party. Let me know if anybody else here loves puppies. But um, so using it to research helps us make sure we go to the right party and that the right people are at that party. So in terms of in practical terms for social media and for social media marketing, ooh, sorry, I'm skipping ahead here. Social media followers, consumers, online communities are constantly giving you information. They're constantly telling you what kind of party it is and what they're doing there. I say start listening and intentionally learning. And oh my gosh, learning tip, document it. I tell this to 99% of business owners I work with. I tell this to my students. You are not learning if you are not documenting it. Pen to paper, even if it's just, and it's funny because I've got a running note on my iPad of like things I learned from social media, things I learned from my analytics. Document it. The other thing I teach especially my students, is something I call conscious consumption. Conscious consumption is the slowing down and the more intentional awareness of what you're seeing on social media. So when you look at those posts, ask yourself, like, who is this for? And what are they trying to do? Are they trying to sell? Are they trying to inform? It's just slowing down and intentionally bringing awareness to what you're seeing on social media. Conscious consumption is such a key skill when it comes to social media and digital marketing, and can really lead to success. Um, so with this come research methods. So there are different questions we can answer. Every question you can ask, every question you will ever have can be answered through your data. And that's another talk that I love to give, and it's something I love to nerd out about. But say you want to know how many people are actually buying from me on social media, because I don't know about you, but definitely for me, and definitely a lot of clients I talk to, we're thinking about ROI. What's my return on investment? Well, there's two ways and 2 points of data that we can use to find that. We can look at website clicks on each platform, and you can find your website conversion. You can compare the two. You could also run ads and just look at how many conversions you had. So it's in your data there. If you want to know what's trending, you can just look at the Instagram Explore page. Or if you have a Pinterest for Business account, you get access to the Pinterest Trends feature, which is one of my favorite features when it comes to digital marketing analytics. You can just scroll your newsfeed. Again, conscious consumption. If you want to find out who is my target audience, who is responding to my messaging, you can go onto your analytics on each platform, and there is a catch. As of today, LinkedIn, the personal profile and analytics. Let me know who here has a personal LinkedIn profile, or who has a business page. But the analytics on LinkedIn personal profiles are horrible. They're garbage. They barely tell you anything. That is the only platform I would say where like the analytics are questionable at best. Every other platform, including LinkedIn pages, have pretty fabulous analytics and can tell you details about your audience. Okay, so a bunch of us do have LinkedIn. Good. I would say Instagram and Pinterest have the most detailed analytics on your audience, including like age, the cities, the countries where they are, gender. Unfortunately, they break down gender only 2 ways. It's unfortunate, I know, but there it is. If you want to find out, like, what should I be posting? I would say do an Instagram poll or a series of polls, or a Twitter poll, or a LinkedIn poll, or you can create a survey and incentivize responses. And we're going to talk about that strategy in a little bit. If you're wondering, what hashtag should I even be using? Look at similar businesses' posts, review their hashtags, or follow digital marketing thought leaders and people who are teaching about digital marketing, and they'll talk to you about hashtags. If you want to talk about how do I get more followers, or sorry, you want to find that out, go to your analytics, review top posts based on followers. Please note that's mainly for Instagram. Find what's common among your posts and do more of that. And that's going to lead you to success. Every question you have in your business, there is an analytics component. And in fact, I challenge you to challenge me. If you have any question in your business, and you don't know how to find the analytics or what analytics defined or the data behind it, put it in the chat, and I will answer it. I'm that confident in my ability for data, and everything that you want is in your data. A couple tips on how to actually get to your analytics. This is going to be a little more on the technical side. So also, fun fact note that I should have mentioned at the very beginning, if you do want a copy of the slide deck, it is available upon request from the Business Center. So reach out to Ashley on that, or this is being recorded and you can watch the playback on this just to see these details. But here's how you actually get to the analytics for each account. So from Instagram, on mobile, you click on your profile, click Insights, and just go down the rabbit hole from there. Twitter, it's available on desktop from the menu. You'd click Analytics. LinkedIn on your personal profile, you'd scroll down just to your analytics on your profile and go from there. But on a page, you would go to the page, you'd click analytics, and you have four or five different options there. Pinterest on desktop, you can log in, click analytics in the overview and go from there. It's also available on mobile under more options. YouTube, it's not YouTube, they kind of hide it. It's in their place called YouTube Studio. So you'd click on your icon, you'd click YouTube Studio, and you'd look at the analytics there. TikTok, it is available on mobile, but I find it's way more accessible and way easier to read if you do it from desktop. You log in, you click your profile icon and click analytics, and it's there. And then from Facebook, you can go to your business page, make sure you're on the business profile, and click insights on the top right. I am seeing a question, and I saw that Kathy amplified it. So let me just tackle this. I have a personal LinkedIn page, but I use it for business only. Should I create a business page? Ooh, okay. Let's start with definitions to make sure we're all on the same page. Personal profile, business page. So I'm guessing, Matthew, you have a personal profile, and you're wondering if you should create a business page. To answer that question, Matthew, I don't know, or I don't remember seeing your business off the top of my head, but my golden rule for when to create a LinkedIn page is if your company has, I would say, 2 to 3 or more people involved. If any of you are like me and you're a solopreneur, a solo entrepreneur, your personal profile is all people need, right? Because they're following you. They're here for you, the person in your business. So you can do everything and people will want to interact with you personally. But if your business is larger than that, it has more people, it has more services, you're not the only one that they're reaching out to, then I say get a business page is my general benchmark or reason for having a business page. Great question. Thank you for asking. Some noteworthy analytics features that I kind of wanted just to highlight. So on Instagram, you have 3 categories of analytics. Okay, perfect. There are 3 categories with your analytics, and each of these can be clicked on and you can go deeper on. So play around with those. Most notably though, total, like if you go to your followers, this is where you can see the age breakdown, you can see the gender, you can also see when they are most active on Instagram each day in 3-hour blocks. So like 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 3, 3 to 6, so on and so forth. All of that data is available for you there. YouTube has why I like YouTube and what I want to highlight here is that their general, like their overview is fabulous. And usually it has most of the data that people want. So this is like my actual YouTube dashboard. And then you can break it down into different categories. And fun fact, excuse me, coming in, I believe it's going to be in the audience tab. YouTube creators will be able to start seeing the keywords that led people to your page. So you can find out what keywords are people actually searching for that are leading to your videos. Does anybody here have a YouTube channel? Give me like a thumbs up or put it in the chat. I don't find many, but I'm always curious who's got a YouTube channel. So there's those. And then this is Pinterest trends. Yes, but we don't use it. Okay. Pinterest trends. If you go to analytics, you go to trends, Pinterest will tell you what is trending on Pinterest in your country or region. And then better than that, if you type into the search box here, where it says search for keywords trending on Pinterest, you can type in any keyword related to your business and you can see how it's trending and what else is trending with it, which helps you plan out your content. Kelly, planning on a YouTube? Awesome. YouTube is fun. Very delayed results, but it's a lot of fun. That's one way of doing research and learning from your social media. Is just by looking at the analytics and the data. But we can also do surveys, polls, and questions. You can ask people directly what you want to know. And actually, that's my tip and my secret when it comes to learning from your audience and doing surveys and polls. Folks will ask me, Tim, like, what do I even ask? Ask exactly what you want to know. If you want to know why someone's following you, say, why do you follow me? If you want to know what kind of content people want to see from you, ask, what kind of content do you want to see from me? Note that this can be done on platform or off platform. If you do it on platform, you can do it through comments, you can do it through polls, you can do it through and polls like you see on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. They are now available as stickers on Snapchat. If anybody's on Snapchat, let me know. That's one that I hear less and less businesses are on. Some ideas here for you. Do a series of polls and Instagram stories. So I did this a couple weeks ago, friends, to raging success. What I did was I framed it in a different way and saying, instead of you getting to know me, I want to get to know you. So I did 4 polls where people just voted one or the other, especially because on Instagram, polls tend to get the highest engagement because they're so easy to play with. So I asked people just different identifying details and questions. And then my final question, I said, because I wanted content ideas, I asked them, what's the hardest part of digital marketing? And then people gave me, their questions or their complaints or their concerns. And that became content ideas. It was great research, all just through a series of polls on Instagram stories. You can also ask for comments as feedback on posts. So for example, I used to have a team and we used to run people's social media. And whenever we started running someone's social media, before we actually fully started posting for them, we would say, hey, we're about to become more active. Before we do, let us know what kind of content do you want to see? And we just took it in the post and through comments. But you also have polls. If YouTube community posts and polls through community posts is also an option, but the only caveat is that you have to have 1,000 subscribers. So you do have to kind of meet that basic eligibility requirement, but it's also an option there for you as well. I see a question here from Andrea. How often should you do that in stories? What else can you do in stories? Ooh, Andrea, you can do almost everything in stories. I need context before I can start giving ideas, but there's so much that's possible. In terms of like the research questions, I wouldn't recommend doing it more than once a month. Personally in my practice, I do research on my followers twice a year. That's it. Usually because I'm asking them to fill out a questionnaire, but like this series of polls, I'm like, okay, this is big. This is what I want. So, do it sparingly. Now, Christopher, I agree. In some cases, your audience may be too small, but any data is good data. So I would start with something. Try. Also because then you can benchmark results. So this last example where I did this polls on Instagram stories, I had about hold on, 56 responses. I had 56 poll responses. I had about 30 written responses. So now I know, okay, next time I do this, assuming that my followers grow, my engagement grows, I should have at least 56 poll responses. I should have at least 30 responses. So you can benchmark and grow from there. Sherbanu asks, how often should you schedule ads on Facebook, Instagram in a week? Do you mean like paid ads or organic content? Very different questions. Good question. Let me know. Not paid, organic. That is a good question. Let's tackle that at the very end because it's not as relevant to some of the stuff we're covering here, and it's a long answer, but I will totally give you an answer. Just stay tuned to the end and remind me, and we'll tackle that. The other thing you can do, though, you don't have to do this on platform. You can do it off platform. In that case, you would use a survey provider like SurveyMonkey. I use Google Surveys. You can do surveys that are built into your website. So recently, like my naturopathic doctor, she sent me a survey, and I thought it was really cool that her survey was embedded and built right into her website. So it also looked very familiar. I knew, I'm like, oh, I'm on my doctor's website. Great. And you can collect the results that way. Here we go. So this was just my case study about like what I was looking for. Here's which I've already touched on. Here's my tips though. My tips to really make this worth your while. Ask exactly what you want to know. Only incentivize when you're not getting the number of completed surveys desired. We're going to talk about incentives in a second. Do 1 to 2 social media follower surveys per year because you don't want to inundate people. You don't want to bother them too much, and keep them short, sweet, and to the point. In fact, I try to aim to have surveys be less than like 3 minutes long, like 180 seconds. Fun fact I've learned about incentivizing polls though, and like research. I've done this on myself. I've done this on a lot of clients, and we've offered everything from like products and just like, oh, we'll send you like a gift card. We've offered discounts and promotions. Does anybody want to guess the actual best incentive that got the most number of survey responses? And I'll give you a hint. It wasn't like product giveaway, so it wasn't like a gift card, and it wasn't a discount. Does anybody have any guesses? What incentive got more people to fill out surveys? Free consultation. Good guess, Ashley. Not correct. Fun fact, and use this tip. We found that incentivizing surveys with a donation to charity garnered the best results. And to take it even one step further, we asked followers. So I've always done this, and then I got clients to do it. Asked followers, hey, what's a charity or what's a cause that's important to you? Found out what people cared the most about, and then said, okay, for every survey response, we will donate $2 to this charity or $5 or whatever for every response. And time again, it incentivizes more people than if we offered them a discount, if we offered them something for free, if we gave them product. I know, isn't that cool? So you can keep that tip in your back pocket. So I want to check in and ask everybody, as we're about the halfway mark, and this is a big and juicy topic, research and learning. What is something you think you might all research on your followers? How would you do it? So I guess actually what I really want to know is like, what do you want to know about your followers? Does anybody have any burning questions? You're like, okay, I'm going to do a survey of my followers and I'm going to find out blank. What are we going to find out? Yeah, Kelly, I also love doing CMHA. Yep. Income level, that's a great one. Do they own a mortgage? Do they have young kids? Those are fabulous questions. Any others? Things we're thinking that we would research. What are your biggest pain points? Debt levels. Yeah. Some of these are a little age group. That's perfect. Some of these are a little personal, so something you could do. And I mean, I did it on my survey. I asked folks, so for example, in my last poll, I wanted to know, this is going to sound terrible actually, but it was very important detail. I wanted to know the political affiliation of my followers, but I didn't want to ask, are you conservative? Are you liberal? Are you green? Are you whatever? Because that brings up weird feelings. So what I did was I asked an indicative question. So in my case, I asked, like, what do you think about Elon Musk? People who say, oh, I love Elon Musk are probably more likely to be conservative. People who maybe don't like Elon Musk, maybe more likely are more likely to be liberal or left-leaning. So you could also ask indicative questions. You don't have to ask directly, like, how much debt do you have? How much do you make? Yes, it's about finding kind of an indirect correlation. If it's a hot topic, if you're uncomfortable asking. Yeah, these are great research questions. And all of these can be done through a survey. Yeah, income level, mortgage, kids, pain points. I love this. Do you know someone? Do you know someone with a mental illness? Debt, age group, life moments. Yes, great. Thank you, friends. Let's talk about engagement, because nobody became popular at a party by walking into a room, talking about themselves for 10 minutes and leaving. And I forget who, but someone said, bring a keg for others. I love that. That is the pinnacle of engagement. Engagement is the intentional interaction with other people and accounts, which includes commenting, direct messaging, following, and sharing. Excuse me. And keep that list of 4 tasks in mind: commenting, direct messaging, following, and sharing. Why does it work so well? People post content hoping someone will see it and interact with it. I mean, show of hands, or like put it in the chat. When you post, do you hope someone comments on it? Do you hope someone interacts with your post? Exactly. Thank you, Shivanu. Me too. I actually, I don't think I know a single person or business ever who's like, I want to post, but I don't want anyone to actually do anything with it. No, we want them to do something with it. We are providing that. We are interacting with it in a way that people want and welcome. But you're also, there's another reason. You're also getting your name out there in a way that people welcome. You're not getting your name out there by posting and being, in their face with an ad. You're not getting your name out there by getting into their DMs trying to sell to them. It's a way that people welcome, and your name is attached to the comment. Now, I have to say this is not your explicit hall pass to sell through your comments. Do not just go for the sale right away. My general rule for sales: do not ask for a sale or an exchange, like an email address or to sign up for, a free webinar or something, without evidence that they're going to say yes. And oftentimes we don't have that. It's pretty hard permission to get. So do not sell explicitly through your comments right away. Be human first. Be a human first. Now, how do you find accounts to engage with? Let's answer the how question. Your own feed, the accounts you follow. And we're going to talk about hunting and farming in a second. This is called farming. So just go through your own feed, the people that you follow, the people that you're connected with, engage with those accounts. But then also look at hashtags that you want to be known for. This works on every single social media platform where you search for a hashtag that you want to be known for, comment on those posts, interact with those accounts. But you could also do it just based on keywords. This is also why, I still love Twitter. You can search for things for keywords and still find details you're looking for. It's fabulous. You can do it for locations you want to be found for. This is mainly Instagram and Facebook, where you have location markers. So if you have a really geographically bound business, who was it with the travel business? Kathy. So Kathy's customers at their point of origin probably have a specific geography we have to appeal to. So we could look, for Kathy, we could look in a specific area and appeal to those folks. Or my other favorite is you can engage with accounts with followers who may be your target audience. So Ash here is a graphic designer, if I remember correctly. And if Ash is working with businesses, kind of like I am, I'd say find like a chamber of commerce, follow their followers, engage with their followers. If Kathy in the tour business, find tourist magazines or tourist accounts like the Tourism Council of Ontario. Follow their followers, engage with their followers. You're finding the concept or the base idea here is centers of influence. You're not doing all the work, you're using other people's centers of influence. Shibanu has a question. Is it true that the higher the following, the less your post is seen for hashtags? I have heard that rumor. I have never seen any research or data to support that claim, though. Hashtags, and especially on Instagram now, are more like the cherry on top of the cake. They are no longer the cake. We know that there are many other, they're called social signals that determine who sees what, and hashtags have less prevalence. But I don't think that there is a correlation or much causation between how many people you're following, how many people follow you, and your hashtag reach. That's a good question. I'm going to look into that. Good question. Thank you. Quick note on hunting versus farming in digital marketing. Interacting with or working to convert people who currently follow you, that's farming. Generally easier, but most businesses spend more time hunting than farming. But finding and attracting new followers and trying to convert new followers, that is hunting. I say be sure to do both, mix it up. You're doing all these things to attract new followers and to convert people. You have a community, you have followers. Don't forget them as well. Don't, forget your people for the novelty of it all. Again, just a quick walkthrough using the search function. You can find based on locations, you can find based on hashtags. I pulled up some examples for Durham region. If you want to follow something local specific, here we go. I do have a bunch of engagement tips actually before we get to our next discussion question. Engagement should only take a small amount of time each day, 2 to 4 minutes. And when I tell my clients and I tell my students to do engagement, I say, do it for 3 minutes and be specific in what you're going to do so you don't go down like a rabbit hole. Because a bunch of people did mention like social media can be a time suck. This is my favorite strategy to combat being a time suck. Be specific in what you're going to do. So say to yourself, this is my favorite example. I'm going to log into LinkedIn on my mobile for 3 minutes and I'm going to send 8 connection requests. Or I'm going to log on to Instagram and I'm going to follow 6 accounts in the next 4 minutes that are based in the Durham region. Be that specific with yourself and what you're going to do. If you are a B2C or a business to consumer business, don't just interact with business accounts. I see a lot of businesses make this mistake where they focus on interacting with other business accounts. Don't forget your consumers as well. And you can tell that they are regular consumer accounts, often because there's no posting strategy, their hashtags are all over the place. There's no website on the bio. So it's not as branded or I say polished as business accounts tend to be. With that, if you're actively following people as part of engagement, you'll also have to unfollow as well to keep a clean newsfeed, because otherwise your newsfeed is going to get jammed and packed. And also every single social media platform has a limit on the number of people you can follow. I know off the top of my head on Instagram, it's 5,000. So it's not sustainable just to keep following people. You have to unfollow them. Do this as often as needed in small spurts and over a period of time. And let me be specific. Small spurts, I mean 50 accounts or less per day. If you try to unfollow more than 50 accounts per day, it's going to look like spammy behavior and you may get shadow banned, action locked. Your account could even be deleted. So 50 accounts or less per day, unfollowed. Whew, that's a lot of me talking. Let me check in with you. What's a way of engaging that we're all going to try in the future? We talked about commenting, we talked about DMing, we talked about following, we talked about sharing. What do we think we're going to do more of? Andrea, I don't just comment, I comment. Excellent. Keep that up, Andrea. All of the above, more following, more commenting. Yes. Christopher, polls, love it. Yes. Eventually polls. Yeah. What else are we going to do for engagement? Looking at hashtags you want to be noted for. Yes. I mean, we could spend a whole half hour just talking about hashtags alone, but we don't have time for that. But yeah, thing with your hashtags, engage with others in a Facebook group. Yes. Personal profile. Is it okay to post real estate pre-construction projects? I think, Jayanthi, I think that's great content for both, for your personal profile and your business page. There's not much separation, so that would work for both. Great question. Commenting on the posts of people you admire. Yes, love it. Especially when you can share that love and share that love authentically, that'll absolutely come through. Great. Any others? Perfect. Okay. We do have to talk about posting a little bit, but let me talk about posting in a way where it's more about other people posting for you. The idea is based on share-worthy content, on content that other people want to share for you. In this also in this context, I want to say content is a very broad term today. Includes anything that anyone creates and can be shared with others. If you have a new product, your product can be shared. If you have a guest appearance on something, that can be shared. If you have social media content, you created a graphic, you hired Ash for that kind of thing, that is content. If you have an event like our friends here at the Durham Region Business Center have, that is something that can be shared. Let's talk about getting other people to share our content. The premise, the idea here is that growing your own presence, one interaction at a time, one follower at a time, is wildly inefficient. We want other people to be promoting and amplifying our message. And there are some things that we can do to encourage this. And I've got a bunch of strategies. One, when you're networking, friends, I mean, it kind of helps that we're online, but if we were in person, I would still do the same thing where I'd say, let's interact with each other on social media. When you're networking, fun fact, if anybody's part of BNI or heard of BNI, let me know. So I'm part of this networking group called BNI. And when I network at BNI, and I'm trying to find mine, when I network with BNI, I have my business card on my phone. I never give people a physical business card anymore. Also, to save the planet, you can swap electronic business cards, or you can do just interact with each other on social media instead of swapping business cards. Follow each other. In that case, the content is the event. If you get press about your business is doing something that's newsworthy, noteworthy, link it to your socials where that content is then the press. If you speak at an event, that content is the presence at that event. If you are speaking at an event, which, hey, follow me on Instagram at Tim Campbell-SMS. The event is your content. When you're emailing customers or clients or prospects, follow them on social media. Again, the content in this case is the process. Contests. I think contests are a wildly underutilized strategy. Easy to post and then easy to get followers. Contests. Ask people to like a post and to follow. Ask centers of influence and friends to tag you in posts, right? Where the content is other people's, or more related to that, more official, influencer marketing. Influencer marketing is absolutely a great way to amplify your message. In terms of creating actual social media content, think about anything that people want to save or they want to hold on to or they want to share. Think about infographics, definitive guides, how-to suggestions, demonstrations, or anything really, really funny. Think about this, and I actually want to put it in, I'm going to put it in the chat and ask, what's the last thing you shared with someone? What's the last piece of content that you consumed and you sent to someone? I think mine, if I'm totally honest and don't judge me, I think it was a TikTok, a very funny political TikTok. My husband and I are very political. And I found a very funny political TikTok. So I sent it to him because it was funny. That's share-worthy content. Can anybody else think about like, what's the last piece of content you shared with someone else? Cute pictures and jokes? Yes. And this comes back to that conscious consumption, right? Thinking about how do you memes, that's a classic. I shared a quote, Shabanu, yes, exactly. This comes back to conscious consumption, thinking about what exactly am I seeing? What am I doing? How am I interacting with this content? And being more intentional with it is part of it. Funny political stuff, which I can't share on a business page. Yep. Super gay. Mental health parenting information. Exactly. See, these are things that are inspiring, that are informative, they're educational. Oh, it's already been a morning. Need more coffee, apparently. So intentionally think about like, why do you share what you share? And can you create content like that? The other fact of the matter, though, share-worthy content is content that the algorithms love. All of the algorithms on all of the social media platforms love share-worthy content. If you share content, if you get saves on your content, the algorithm goes, hey, for example, Catherine shared a really great post and more people will want to see this post. So they share it with more people. So let me ask you, and maybe let's make this like a brainstorming session so we can all kind of support each other. What is a share-worthy piece of content that you could create in your business? What is a share-worthy piece of content that you could create in your business? Or if you're struggling with that and you're like, I don't know, tell me the type of business you have, and I'll give you some ideas. Coming up with content ideas is my one superpower. The share-worthy piece of content you can create in your business. What to wear guide for fit. Oh, Tara, I would share that. I would save that. Let me know if you create that. That's good. Uh, yeah, a what to wear guide. What else are we thinking? What other content could we create in our business? How to book a one-to-one consult. Yep, the process. And why book a one-to-one consult? That's a good idea. Mhm. Other ideas. What are we thinking? Top attractions at a destination. Yes. Age-friendly cybersecurity. So, Christopher, so many guides you could create. So many. That's smart. The human behind the business. Yes. Oh my gosh. Those get to know me posts. Here's the human behind the business. Um, ooh, an info post. What is a TFSA RRSP? I have a financial advisor. I'm still not 100% sure exactly what it is. Yeah. Before and after pictures. Ooh, Dave, note on before and after pictures for things. Two important notes. One, before and after posts are, sorry, befores and afters cannot be run as paid ads on Facebook and Instagram. They violate the terms of service. So just don't try to run that as an ad. And number two, it's counterintuitive, but whenever you do a before and after post, and for anybody whose business is related to this, always do your after first, because usually the after photo is more interesting and it's the first photo people will see in their newsfeed. So we actually, when we do before and afters, I always recommend do your after photo and then your before. It's quite counterintuitive, but it works. The tools you use in your business, um, who to contact when you feel stressed. Oh, these are great, y'all. These are really great content ideas. Something funny, Shelly, yes. Um, yeah, great. These are great content ideas. Y'all are, this is a good bunch of group. They're a good group this morning. Thank you. Let me start to bring this home. I want you to remember research, listen, learn from social media users, engage, 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 and give people a reason to mention you. Give people a reason to amplify you. We're about to head into just a complete open Q&A forum. But before I do, my last discussion question that I want to check in with you all on, what's the first thing that you learned today that you're going to implement when you leave today? What's the first thing you're going to implement after you leave today? Because we're about to wrap up. Do a poll. Lillian, that's a great starting point. Yes. What's the first thing you're going to do after today? Be more engaged. Yeah, Dave, great plan. How are you going to be more engaged? Engage and comment on more. Do some polls. Yes. And especially, let me say this. Even though I've done this for 6 years, I still, and coming up with content ideas is my superpower. I still have days where I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to post today. And instead of posting, I go, you know what? I'm just going to engage a bunch. I'm just going to go like a bunch of posts. I'm going to go comment on some posts. I'm going to go follow some people, and I'm going to call it a day there. So engaging is a great, replacement for posting. Yeah. Following others, actually posting something. Yes, Ash, I love that balance for you. I love it. Farm and hunt. Andrea, great point. Research, engage with new Facebook groups, not spend or take up hours on scrolling. Yes. Yeah, reach out to my instructor team, see if they have anything interesting going on. That's so smart. Unfollow some accounts. That is also important. Boopathy, thank you. Thank you for lifting that up. Find posts I like and see what hashtags they use. Oh, so smart. Y'all are such a good group. Thank you. Okay. Well, I'm going to say this kind of technically ends the formal part of today. And I wish you all the happiest of parties and the happy, healthiest party that is social media, even for you introverts. If you're like me and you go to a talk like this and you leave, and 10 seconds after you leave, you have a question, go, oh, I should have asked this. I'm going to put my email in the chat. Please send me any follow-up questions you have for based on today. And I would love to continue to be that guide. If you also want to connect on social media, I'm most active on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And I'd love to connect there. That said, we can't have a time to talk about social media and not just have a big open Q&A forum. So I want to open the floor here to any questions from what we've talked about today or anything you may have on social media. Okay, so I see Kelly's first because that's easy, and then Sherbanu, we're going to go back to your question, which I totally remember. What was the digital business card thing you mentioned? I personally did it in Canva, or you can call up someone like Ash, who's a graphic designer, to design it. So I created it the size of my iPhone screen, and I put all the information that would be on a business card, and I just have it saved as a picture on my phone. What I do when I'm networking or at events is I either get people to take a picture of it, or I airdrop them the photo. So it's saved as a photo on there, but that's only for iPhone users. Let me know if you're an iPhone user. I'm a diehard Apple fan. So, oh, Ash, and this is why we talk to smart people like graphic designers. You could put up a QR code on there. That is smart. That is smart. Yes, the recording will be available. Ask our good friend Ashley from the Business Center, who, by the way, is a facilitator extraordinaire. So thank you, Ashley. Ask her and she'll get you the link to the recording. Hi, hello has a great digital business card. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Sure, Banu. Remind me what the original question was. Was it how often should you be posting on Instagram and Facebook? Was that the question?
I think it was related to paid ads. How often? Let me see.
Okay, yeah. So it's how often should you post to do organic posts? Okay, so number one, I have a lot to say about this. Can you use Canva to create a QR code? Great. I didn't know that. Okay, so number one, you should post at a frequency that you can maintain. It is about your capacity first. Any other number I tell you may be unrealistic and may not work for you and your business. So number one, start with your capacity first. Do not try to take on any guilt or shame about trying to post a certain amount that's unrealistic for you. Number two, the thing I'm going to say is we have different posting frequencies based on what you want to do with your account. If you want to aggressively grow, I would prescribe a different posting frequency than if you want to grow at a standard calculated rate, or if you just want to maintain your account. Or some accounts actually want to scale back and they have a different posting frequency. To make it just kind of an example and for aggressive growth, I would say if you can do at least one post every single day on Instagram in the newsfeed, and at least half of those posts are reels, at least, if not more, a reel every single day, a post every single day, and 5 to 7 stories, maxed out at about 15 Instagram stories per day. Facebook maxed out, but Facebook, the algorithm's a little bit slower. So I'd actually only recommend about 4 to 6 posts max per week on Facebook. And then it kind of goes down from there if you don't want to grow that aggressively. Great question. Thank you for asking. What do you, I see a question from Karen here. What do you think about cross-posting Facebook and Instagram? Should we have original content on both? Ooh, cross-posting, very bad. No bueno. But this is a very easy problem to fix. What I say is use a scheduler. So we have, like, for example, Facebook Creator Studio, which does Facebook and Instagram posts and scheduling and ads and lots of other stuff. Just take your Instagram post it on Instagram, and just reschedule it to go out on Facebook a few days later and kind of jumble up the content. So it's not direct cross-posting, but you're just repurposing the content. You're not reinventing the wheel. But cross-posting, bad. Good question. Thank you. Kelly, what do you think about email bots to advertise? I have a lot of thoughts about this. How do I say it succinctly? I think everything we do in business is about what you value. And your values dictate what you do in business. If you value scaling quickly at all costs, and efficiency. You need to save time, you need to save energy. Then I think bots are smart. Using AI, using robots, using paid learning for email, yeah, is going to help you. That said, and it's funny because I'm fascinated by case studies of AI in content marketing, which touches on email. AI still has not even come close to approaching like what I call the human touch or the human approach. Um, some notable limitations with AI. AI cannot recognize and can't even communicate voice or tone. So what is the difference between an official tone and a more informal or conversational tone versus something that's relaxed, versus something that's written for a third grader versus something written for an undergraduate student? So it has some pretty notable limitations. But if you're just trying to scale and scale quickly and be more efficient, bots can be smart. But otherwise, I say, have a human behind your email marketing. Very long answer to a very short question, but thank you for your question. Thanks, Kelly. Um, oh, sure, Benno, I'm glad. Matthew, for solopreneurs, typically the business is you and you are the business. Should we post anything personal on our accounts, family vacations? Oh, you should see my Instagram post this morning about this, actually. Um, I say post personal content if it can have some kind of relevance to the business. So, for example, when talking about family or vacations, you may want to talk about that if the business is going to be closed for a week because you're on vacation, or if you want to do a post reminding people to practice self-care and community care and time with your family and celebrating what's important. But for other people, they say like, no, that's too personal and there's no relevance to business. So you don't have to. But I say when it comes to the personal stuff, post it if you can find some relevance to the business and to your followers. Great question. And thank you so much, Ashley, for dropping my handle there. Here's the direct link if you want to copy this. Um, anyways, so great question, Matthew, and I hope that helps. Other burning questions, things we're thinking about with our social media. We've got about 9 more minutes before we have to really wrap up. Catherine, can Pinterest serve a local market? That is an excellent question. Um, the ads can, to some degree. The paid ads are not as fabulous as Facebook, Instagram, Google. LinkedIn isn't as fabulous either. It can if you do paid ads, but the platform as a whole, I would generally say no. It's way harder to have a local reach and a local focus than say Instagram or LinkedIn. Good question. That's a tough one. Matthew asks, what software do you use to create graphics? I personally use Canva because I've tried Photoshop, I've tried Illustrator. That's why we have people like Ash and other graphic designers. I can't. I am stumbling my way through Canva on a good day. Great questions. Thank you, friends. Yeah, I would agree with Catherine. Like Canva's easy to learn, but the only problem is that there's so much you can do with it that um and Andrea knows what's up. But like Canva, it just feels like the possibilities are endless. Like every time I see a post from Canva or I see a training that they're doing, I see a video, there's just like constantly new features. And I'm like, how are we expected to remember all these features and all these? I don't know. It just seems like a lot of possibilities. So that's my one beef with Canva. It is easy to learn, but there's a lot to learn if you want to explore all your options. Mhm. And templates are fabulous. So we got some Canva lovers in the group. Good. I'm glad. Any other burning questions we have about social media and having our party today? GoPro, keep it branded with your colors and fonts. Agreed. Well, barring any other questions, or sorry, I do see one more question coming in from Catherine. I'm putting my email in the chat one more time. So if you want to reach out, if you have any follow-up questions, you can. Catherine, best platforms for local audience. Instagram, Twitter, if your people or businesses are on it. Thanks, Sherbanu. Google for business is pretty good. Alignable if you're into business to business. Alignable can be cool. LinkedIn can be pretty good as well. Yeah, great questions. Amy asks, do you have a suggestion for how to post or cross-post easily? I use Meta. Is there a better way? So if you're on Facebook and Instagram, I would then say use Facebook Creator Studio. Otherwise, get a third-party scheduler. Schedulers I recommend. Later, Hootsuite, Buffer, and Sprout Social. Yeah, great question. Shelly, I want to punt this back to you. What about bots on Instagram? What is specifically your question? Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Men followers. Yeah. Where do we buy these bots from? Don't is the answer. Don't buy them. One, because it violates the terms of service on every single social media platform, but especially on Instagram, violates the terms of service. And Instagram is getting more conservative. So you can lose your account fully by paying for followers. Shelly, number one, and I really want to look this up. I apologize on behalf of any actual real life legitimate men who send messages like this. And I commit to being an accomplice in this. If I ever find out men in my life are doing this to women and sending messages, I will personally call them out. What can people do? And in this case, let's tailor it towards like women who are getting messages from men, especially on Instagram. Hold on. I'm going to do this on my Instagram to make sure I give you the exact instructions right. So go to Instagram, go to your profile. You want to go to your settings. Go to settings. It's under privacy. And then you would click hidden words. You can hide words, and it's under custom words for messages and comments, custom words for posts. And what you can do is you can block certain words. So if you notice that those accounts are sending you the same message or a very similar message with a keyword, you can block that keyword. So anybody who sends you a message and it has that keyword, it automatically gets hidden. I don't recommend just blocking them because it's kind of like, I compare it to cutting off a head of a Hydra dragon. You cut off one head, two others grow back. You get to the source a lot better if you block the word coming into your DMs and coming into your comments. So Amy, the same principle actually applies for you as well. Those spammy comments, block words that are used in spammy comments. Oh, Ashley, bless your soul for writing it in the chat. Ashley, facilitator extraordinaire, has written in the chat exactly what to click on Instagram to go block these words. Thank you, Ashley. You're a gem. So that's how you would do it for both messages and comments. If you want, I can tell you what's on mine. Mind you, I'm a male, so I haven't blocked. Yep, send a pic, hard DM. Custom words and phrases. Okay. Collab. I've blocked collab. Collab, promote, DM, promote, send pic, send me pic, send me pics, send pics. Yeah. Great question. I hope that helps. And I'm sorry that's happening. We've got a couple more minutes. Any other burning questions about social media or digital marketing?